There is one stock that is about to skyrocket. Ticker is IRBTI Robot. They had hundreds of millions of revenue. It's up year over year. And Trump is reportedly, according to Politico, considering issuing an executive order on robotics. So some other robot names went up as well in the past week. Serve Robotics, SCRV. There's also a company that does like robotic bartenders, Rich Tech Robotics, ticker symbol RR, that went up. PDYN, another ticker that went up. So there's interest in the sector, I think, and hold your drink, but this company, iRobot, went up the most because it has robot in the name. Seriously. There's another company, ETF, that also is interesting if you're not prone to speculation, and that company is MAGS, so MAGS ETF. So Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Google, Tesla, Nvidia. That's 7. So we can look at the difference between the overall market and those individual companies and the MAGS ETF. There are times to buy an ETF where it makes sense and it's not just throwing up your hands in the name of diversification and saying the market knows best, or BlackRock knows best. It's like, no, it's okay to have some agency over your life, but you don't necessarily want to buy Microsoft when it's gone down significantly after that OpenAI equity re-agreement. You don't necessarily want to buy Tesla when it just went up 2 weeks almost every day in a row. But what happens is an equal weighted ETF is there are times when this ETF looks great and on the whole, MAGS looks like the thing to buy. People even say that about ARK, Cathie Wood's fund. It's like, you may not love Cathie Wood's investments over the long, 2022, 2023 term, but sometimes the thing just sets up and you can hop in there from some momentum for 5, 10, 15% while, institutions, aka, Cathie or her henchmen are redistributing, their positions in that ETF or accumulating or whatever the word you want to use. But iRobot and MAGS, not financial advice. Let's start.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 All right, so this is the MAGS ETF first off, and you can see what I see here. And sure, you could say, well, why not just buy the market? It's like, well, because if you look at the equal weighted market, okay, it looks good, but on a 5-year chart, since April, right, it's up a lot. But I'm totally grasping here what I'm trying to say. From October 2023, it's up 40%. If you look at SPY from October 23, it's up 80%, 70%. So that's why you buy the SPY as opposed to the equal weighted SPY, because really what everyone wants is to make the most money. And so they don't really care that the SPY is basically the QQQ, which is up 80%. 30-40% of those companies in the SPY are the tech companies, the Metas. We'll look at these in a second. The Microsofts actually look kind of similar, don't they? We don't want to look at these on a 5-year chart. What are we doing? The Apples, the Amazons. What are we doing? We want to stay zoomed in and then change the ticker. Thinkorswim. Amazons, the Googles, the Nvidias, the Tesla. And looking through those, what looks the best, right? Google and Tesla. Do you want to buy Google up here though? Not really, right? I mean, maybe, but it's moving 3% a day. It already had 2 big runs, one of them after earnings. Do you want to buy Tesla right here? Not exactly, right? I mean, it just it had basically 15%, like 2 weeks. It probably goes sideways a little bit here with all these, people who bought here who are holding, and it's like, oh, Tesla's back up, I'll sell it. I knew I shouldn't have just, gone all in on humanoids in 2025. So sometimes you don't want to buy individual companies. And there are times where ARK ETF is interesting. It certainly looked interesting for a breakout here. And is it weird to do technical analysis on a massive ETF? Not if everyone else is doing it, right? I mean, it definitely worked. So the only thing you really don't want to do technical analysis is on like the VIX, right? Which, if I even know how to spell that, you see what I'm talking about. Like, oh, VIX is about to break out. It's like, no, this is some, hyper professional can tell me what this is. But basically, it's like a measure of like the put volume on the market, which is a like secondary uncertainty indication. So technical analysis is very unsophisticated. But on the ETFs, it's okay. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's some sort of flag forming here. We probably don't need to draw it there, but there's something going on. And you can risk, 50 cents to make $5. I think that's totally reasonable for a breakout. Are you basically playing the market? Kind of, but you are playing it with at least a little bit more of a tech bent. So if you're like going on vacation, if you are, not watching your phone like a hawk the next couple weeks during the holidays, mags might be for you. Now, for everyone who's like, what the heck, the title is one stock that's about to skyrocket at $3. Yeah, here is the stock. It's iRobot. And I'm not going to tell, everyone who wants to be super safe that this is interesting as a buy. I'm not telling you to buy it. It's just an idea, but you could buy it. And $3 is a pretty cheap price. And there's a lot of volume. Is a couple $100 million enough volume in dollars for you? You could put $2 million in there with the click of a button and walk away for the day, not even make the stock move at all. If you look at how it trades, on an intraday chart, you can see that sort of activity, just boom, and then just boom. It's not, super liquid, and except for this was kind of worrisome where it went from, 2 to 1.5 in a couple hours. But the volume seems to be big enough recently where you're not going to get trapped. So maybe don't put more than 2 million in this stock, but I gotta believe if you're considering of that, leave a comment and then we can talk about it. Otherwise, don't come at me about liquidity. So here's the idea. Here's sort of the levels. This is definitely interesting, this 350 level where it's at right now, because it basically has been riding that, testing that, maybe testing it over here. It's kind of murky. There's a lot of little levels up here because this is a flag and then a failed flag. And then I don't know what to say. It's a $1 stock. It does not move super smoothly. But what you can do is probably do what most people are doing, which is honestly what you want to do on these little rippers, which is to say it's not totally dependent on the market, right? Obviously, the market is not just going up that much. It didn't even go up at all, barely, when the market zipped up the most in the past 2 weeks. So if it's not correlated to the market, then maybe you want to risk this 350. So you risk 10 cents, look for $1, not $10. And $1 is not a crazy idea. I mean, 20-30% move in a few days is definitely achievable. Maybe even one day, although don't quote me on that. Monday this could dump. This could go up to 5. Could go sideways. But what you really want to do with this one is, if you're not watching your phone or your computer, get in, set a stop that's 10-20 cents below, something that's off a level you feel matters, and make sure that stop triggers, or make sure you know how to use stops. If you don't, you can leave a comment or whatever, but people use them. They work. And there's definitely buying interest here. And just to, show what else is going on, maybe not to as great an extent. This is, went from 5 million to 20 million. So definitely 4x volume, but this is a crazy increase because it's such an illiquid stock. I mean, the volume over these days was like a couple million at most. And then it went from a couple million to 100 million. So it's like a 50x in volume. RR, same situation, maybe volume 4x. PDYN, same situation. Maybe volume doubled, not a lot. So the stock to buy in robotics definitely looks like iRobot. Now, you might say, okay, well, let's say this thing does go up to 5. I kind of want to know what they are up to. And that's fine. They do Roomba, right? You know Roomba. It was the original humanoid. They've also expanded out into a lot of other stuff, but I'm pretty sure Roomba is still the main dealio. I've driven by this headquarters. It's right off the interstate. And then, look, maybe all this other stuff will take off. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll let it get acquired by Amazon for like $1 billion, like Ring, the doorbell thing, did. You get what it does, though. It definitely has an application. I mean, think about Shark. Think about Dyson. People buy vacuums, and by people, I mean people who spend money, and then by people who spend money, I mean women, right? So this is all checking out. Revenue beat consensus. The profitability was a little bit of a loss, but it beat the expected loss. So that beat expectations too. And then the gross margins, I guess, are actually slightly down, but not by much. And this is over here. I mean, this is not even related to this move. This is just here. So the revenue, the net loss doesn't actually impact the move right now. What you're playing is momentum. And if you're like, fine, you're giving me an idea for an unprofitable company. It's like, yeah, well, check out RGTI. Was this interesting to you? 200%. What about rare earths? When Trump, also said something. Is this interesting to you? 100%. And there's a lot of arguments for it's illiquid, you can get trapped, and we already addressed those, right? If you're trading with more than $2 million per position, you're probably not of the mind to be disturbed enough to comment. But feel free. Okay, so that's the idea. And then mags as well, we've talked about. But in terms of other ideas, just generally, battery plays are kind of shaping up. AMPX is a 1 EOS. E might be a little bit more interesting. A little bit of a higher low there. EOSE, I think they do like Florida Power and Light. Is that right? They are the largest wind and solar. Oh no, that's NextEra Energy. EOSE is in Edison, New Jersey. Basically the capital of the energy company. I don't know. Edison just sounds good because of Thomas Edison, I guess. But battery storage is definitely needed. This is no joke. I mean, QS is another one, QuantumScape, that's sort of shaping up. I think EOSC looks the best. And then this recent IPO, BLLN, is on watch, although right now it looks like Frankenstein chart. CoreWeave is turning up finally. That might actually turn into the next hyperscaler. Give them a 10% chance on that. And then BTU, a little pullback. But coal, still looking like it could be bridging the gap to natural gas and then nuclear. So that's on watch. Ulta Beauty, talked about that. That's another, well, I talked about it in an early video. similar to Kohl's, similar to Abercrombie and Fitch. These retail companies are doing well, and that's driven by people wanting to. There's something about makeup, I guess. You just want to go in and you don't try it on, right? You don't put the lipstick on your face or the toner on your face or the whatever it's called, the retinol. I don't know if like the micro needling people give their clients like a referral that's in person, or I don't know, for whatever reason retail is ripping. So there's Ulta Beauty. So those are the ideas though. iRobot, ticker symbol IRBT, and Mag7, ticker symbol MAGS. If you like the ideas, hit the like. If you want a free course on how to find the next NVIDIA without gambling on startups or working at Sequoia, hit that subscribe. And if you want to head into the Discord on Monday, go to stockscommunity.com, try out that free trial. $25 fee. But basically free compared to the monthly fee, which I think again is affordable considering the value and the type of moves these stocks can make. All right, not financial advice. See you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 This is Sam Putnam.